Hey, Miranda,
Hi,
you're here again.
I'm back for another
Yay!
bird barf. Yay!
Yay! Um, so I think last time we didn't talk enough about Santa Claus,
No, I mean Santa. When you think of Christmas, that is Christmas. Santa
yeah,
Claus.
which I hear you have some insights on.
I do. I mean, Santa is such an iconic figure that he deserves his own podcast. Really.
All right, we'll talk about some movies, then we'll lead into Santa Claus, and then we'll have you tell us stuff about Santa for Bird Barf.
Bird barf.
Yay!
And now I know in our talk of horror movies, I threw out some names and you threw out some names that we had seen a long time ago or seen as kids.
Yeah.
There were some that had been remade, but then you also sought out some more classic, older Christmas horror tales.
Yeah, I don't know how classic we'd go. Yeah, I watched three. I watched Jack Frost, which we're not going to talk about at all because it's totally not worth talking about.
And I'm terrified of snowmen. That's
No,
my
it's
actually
so bad.
it's
You
one of my
couldn't even be
fear.
frightened of this one. Like it's so awful.
I did
It's
actually see an original, like actually screen used Jack Frost costume at the recent Days of the Dead horror convention. They had the Jack Frost head, and it was furry. It was like a Muppet head.
yeah, it's a horrible puppet.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that. I was like, oh, that must have just been like a what do you want to call it? Like a
Like a
body
stand.
double. Yeah, like a stand-in. I was
No.
like, it's furry. It looks like a Muppet. Why was I
Yeah.
ever afraid of this movie? And then that's nice to know that that's actually what it is. That makes it
Yeah.
even more amazing.
It's awful. It's so bad. What's funny is that, so because yeah, we were talking about Black Christmas. I know they remade that one. I didn't see that one. The original one's from the 70s, and I remembered watching that one, and I remembered liking it. And so I rented it from the video store because there's still a video store with me. And I
Oh,
watched
you
it
got them on
again
VHS, right?
on
That's the best
VHS. I
part.
got them all
Yes.
on VHS. I was like walking around VHS, and the video guy is like, really? um, yeah. So Black Christmas, I think it does hold up. It's still kind of creepy. It's got, there's nothing in it that's like too dated. I mean, clearly there's no cell phones or anything, but it's still creepy, and it does something interesting with the bad guy, which I think was also kind of unprecedented for the time. So
Oh,
how
is that one pretty? I mean, it's definitely like a slasher. Is it pretty like how did they do on the effects
it's more
for
like
that? Or do you
it's
not
more
really
like
see
Halloween.
it? Okay.
Where it's like the stuff happens, but it's very clearly like 70s special effects.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's not super gore, blood everywhere, but
Mm-hmm.
it's gross enough. And like some
Yeah.
of the visuals are creepy, but it's not overly gratuitous. And the other one I watched, which you and I were talking about, speaking of Santa Claus, was Silent Night, Deadly Night,
Yes.
which is literally an entire movie about a guy who gets traumatized by Santa Claus. And then, I mean, there's a bigger story to it. It's like his parents are in a car accident, and like the guy who gets them in an accident is dressed in a Santa suit. This is all within the first like 10 minutes of the movie. And so this kid has this horrible Santa Claus.
This actually sounds really amazing. I mean, I've
It's,
heard of Silent Night, Deadly Night. I don't think I've ever seen it unless it's just like clips and stuff.
yeah.
But
And honestly, like I was expecting it to be pretty awful. Like, there's that level of, and this one was 80s, I think. There's that level of like almost home movie horror where you're kind of like, oh, this is going to be like nothing but boobs or just like blood everywhere. And it really wasn't that bad. Like it's kind of, you know what's going to happen. So there's nothing like mysterious about it.
mm-hmm.
But it's just sort of like, well, when is, Santa going to get him? Like,
yeah.
So it's worth watching. It's ridiculous, but it's really, I was surprised. Like I thought it was going to be real like gross, but it wasn't.
I do like the cover art here.
Yeah.
For those at home, check it out. It's basically Santa's arm through a chimney with an axe. It's kind of interesting with like the figure of Santa too. I was just talking to some people about this at work that I don't know. There's just a part of us that like still really wants to believe in that mythic creature or that character. I was talking to somebody who was at a mall, and how sometimes there are guys that are like quote unquote real Santas, where like that's their thing, where they really grow the beards and all year
Oh
long,
yeah.
especially on Christmas. They wear really Christmas sweaters, and they get into the Santa persona, even if they're not like sitting in a mall with kids in their laps.
Mhm.
And my friend was saying like they walked by one, and he even said to them, "Oh, Merry Christmas," and like she got that tingle, that like, oh, is this the real Santa? Like, how cool would that be? When you think about like the myth of some figure, some being going around the world, coming into your house, where you're safe, and that's
Yeah.
that's where strangers don't belong, but it's like so celebrated. Like it's actually kind of a creepy myth, and then pull that in with like Krampus, and it
Mhm.
is kind of a weird mythos. And
It
you think
is
there'd be
very
more
strange.
horror movies about that, because that's just it's like the killer we openly invite into our house one night a year.
What was the one with the wrestler where he was Santa Claus but like demonic? Santa's
Uh,
sleigh?
that sounds very accurate. Santa's Sleigh with Slay.
Yeah.
It's recent. It's actually from 2005.
Mhm.
Santa Claus is actually a demon who lost a bet with an angel, so he becomes the giver of toys and happiness. But when the bet is off, he returns to his evil ways.
I remember watching that one. I think was on Netflix, and I just put it on, and it's some wrestler or something as Santa, so it's ridiculous. And it's just like, yeah. So that's another weird one.
Oh my gosh, but this is interesting. I don't know if there are any Once Upon a Time fans out there, but Belle, who from Once Upon a Time, the actress who plays Belle, is one of the leads in Santa's Sleigh.
Oh, there we go. Emily DeRaven fans, if you're looking for a holiday fix, there it is.
Check
High
out
quality.
Santa's Sleigh. She plays Mary Mac Mackenzie.
Don't steal my fucking name for this.
Oh, and it also brings up people who like this also liked Jack Frost.
Oh, okay, never mind. Maybe I'm remembering it too fondly. Ugh, it's a terrible circle of life.
uh